Hey guys, welcome to the second video in my Lord of Verminion boss battle series. In this video we will be fighting Gilgamesh, who is challenge number 19, battle on the Bitty Bridge. Now, Gilgamesh is a puppet, but we will also be fighting his trusted companion Enkidu, who is a critter. So for that we will need both a monster and a critter. The monster is to combat Enkidu and the critter is to combat Gilgamesh. So starting with the monster, my preferred tactic is to use Wind Up Odin, the best all-round monster fighter. We will be fighting several Enkidus in this battle, so even though this guy only has single target auto attack, he has an AoE special ability. So again, he has 500 health, 75 attack, 65 defense, plus 30 though, so you can't spam him as you can with a cheaper one. And to combat Gilgamesh, we will be using I will be using the fledgling Apkallu, which you gain from completing the 80 sightseeing log entries in A Realm Reborn. If you don't have him, you can also use the Lesser Panda, who costs 405 health, 95 attack, and 50 defense. The Lesser Panda, of course, is obtained from the Airy dungeon or from the market board for about 2 million gil. If you don't have Wind Up Odin, who is obtained from subscribing to the game for 360 days, you can also use something like the fledgling Dodo, who is quite a decent monster. 500 health, 60 attack, 55 defense. You buy this from Mordona for, I think it's about 15 stones of poetics. You can also buy it from the market board, but you may as well just use your poetics that you never use. If you don't have that either and you're for some reason not willing to spend the poetics or the money, you can buy this guy, the Goobue Sproutling. Now let's see, how do you obtain this guy? So you get this guy from the main storyline, actually. The level 33 main storyline quest called It Was a Very Good Year. If you destroyed it for some reason, you can buy it from the market board. Shouldn't be that much, I think. Now the advantage with this guy is that he has an AoE auto attack. His health isn't that great, attack is okay, defense isn't that great either, but his AoE is a big plus in this battle since there are so many Enkidus. So I'm going to show you two tactics. So I'm going to show you my preferred one first. Where I'll be using the fledgling Apkallu and Wind Up Odin. Let's see. Odin and what? Fledgling. Here we go. you see Odin already destroying the Enkidu's here. He's just a beast. Such a beast. This fight gets so much more difficult if you don't have Odin. Send this guy there. Send the Odin cavalry to the middle as well. Which means we may as well just keep this guy here. Looks like we might be losing an Odin soon. And we did. Now that attack you should avoid if you have weaker minions. Otherwise you will lose quite a few of them. Actually pay too much attention to him there. So. Ah yes. This is where the madness begins. So this situation, rather than spreading yourself out thin, just sacrifice 2 of your Arcana stones. So I'm going to send everyone back to heal up. I'm going to send the Odins in to clear out some of them while they are spread out. Send the Upcalans back, and then get some Odins in. Bit hard to say how it's going because Greg / Gilgamesh is blocking so much of the view here, but no new Odin is spawning, so must be going quite well. Lost 1 minion there. See, this is why I sacrificed the 2 other Arcana stones, because if you spread out too thin, those hordes of Enkidus will just tear you apart. So rather than try and protect the 2 Arcana stones, pick one to defend, usually C, because they usually focus on A and B. Then you should be okay. Now this is just going to take a while now. This is the problem with using minions that buff each other in this fight, because the Enkidu's special ability is to remove your buff. So if you look at someone like the wolf pup minion, he becomes kind of useless, even though he's a critter that can get up to like 105 attack, with his special attack. He's useless because Enkidu just removes that buff. And there we have it. Mr. Gilgamesh is dead. So for my second tactic, which I call the poor man's tactic, this is the tactic you should be using if you haven't subscribed for 360 days, so you don't have Odin, and you don't have the fledgling Apkallu or Hour, and you don't have the Lesser Panda. Of course, if I didn't have the fledgling Apkallu, I would be using the Lesser Panda. But if you don't have any of these three minions, you should be using this tactic. So, I'm going to go with Sid as my main minion in this fight, even though he's a puppet. And I will be using the Goobue Sproutling to defeat the Enkidus. Now you can also use the fledgling Dodo, of course, but I prefer the Sproutling for the AoE. So you have to be very careful with how you handle Sid in this fight, because he's a puppet and Enkidu is a monster. Oh, sorry, he's a critter. So he can the Enkidus can easily destroy your Sids if you're not careful. Luckily, Sid is an amazing fighter, so he will survive for a while. Now, of course, as I mentioned earlier, Sid is obtained through the main storyline, and the Goobue, let's just call it the Sproutling. The Sproutling is obtained through the main story at level 33, of course. So both of them obtained through the main storyline. So let's just get back into it. Let's hope I don't lose, otherwise this will be quite ironic. Okay, so you want a Sid in gate A and a Sid in gate B as well, and that's all you can spawn for now. Then, as soon as the battle starts, you want to spawn another Sid in both gates. Then spawn some Sproutlings, gate A, and then more Sids at gate B. Looks like he's going to go over to B, so it's a good thing I spawned more Sids at B. Actually, no, let's go back. Let's just sacrifice Cornerstone A there. Have a bit too many Sids now. Let's send 4 Sids into battle. Good. I was hoping they would walk into the track. Why didn't the bomb set off? Right, this time. Yes. So not doing very well here. So this is the advantage of Sid. Those guys, the Enkidus, can't dismantle the traps. They're going a lot better now. Even though Gilgamesh is on a lot of health still. Good, they're going into the trap. Set up another trap. Just have these guys focus on Greg, while the Sproutlings take on Enkidu. Oh, he's going to do his thingy. Really do not want to lose. That would make me look very, very silly. Okay. So again, I'm just going to sacrifice that Arcana Stone. Focus on the one over here. Just wait for them all to go into the trap. Boom. Set up another trap. Keep sending in the Sids. Just lost one there just as I was about to set up the trap. Go. Seconds. Go. So as you can see here, AoE is key. So they're running away for some reason. Okay, they're coming back. Let's try and lure them into the trap. Trap here. Go. So we pretty much have this under control now. Not losing any minions. And the Enkidu situation is under control. My Arcana Stone, of course, doesn't take any more damage while my minions are in there. And luckily, Gilgamesh only does that special attacks thing he does once. And another trap. So I've queued up the fledgling dodo because I don't think we will need that much AoE from our monsters at the moment, since there aren't that many Enkidus. But as I'm saying that, of course, he spawns a lot more of them. So let's go back to and we won. Great. So same sort of principle with this tactic. Just sacrifice Arcana Stone A and B, don't spread yourself out too thin, focus on defending Arcana Stone C, try to avoid Gilgamesh's special attack, unless you have a very strong minion who can handle, who can just soak up the damage. Even then you should just try and avoid it. If you're using this tactic, place traps with Sid all the time when you're defending C. Use it as often as you can when you're sort of fighting at all the 3 Arcana Stones as well. And that's basically that. So as you can see, the poor man's version was a lot more hectic than my preferred version, and then my preferred tactic. So if you do have Odin, use him, because Odin he's a monster, literally. And try to obtain the Lesser Panda if you can, because he's the one to obtain actually of the two, since the sightseeing logs are quite annoying sometimes. Some of them are very specific weather at very specific times of the day. But that's basically that. Next up will be the final coil battle, where we basically fight Bahamut. Please like, subscribe, and share this video with your friends if you liked. Tell me what you thought of the tactic, and be sure to check out the Bahamut video as well. Until next time guys, take care.